All right, first things first. This is not photoshopped. All of this is captured in camera. And I had so much fun taking this. If you are watching this on YouTube, I encourage you to click the link below the video so you can see on the original blog post, you can see this picture, but also scroll down and what you'll see is this figure, which is Link. It's Breath of the Wild Link from the video game Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And it's one of it's a figurine that one of my kids has. And it's shot with my D750, my Nikon D750, my 105mm macro lens, and a handful of Nanlite Pavo tubes, which have become my favorite photographic accessory. There's 5 lights going on here. And if you go to the blog and see the behind the scenes, you'll see exactly where all these lights are positioned. And it was so much fun to do this. I don't even know where to start. So first of all, I guess I'll just start with some basic elements. I shot this from slightly above. This figure is maybe 4 inches tall. So I shot it intentionally slightly above, almost to give Link this idea that you're seeing him from a position of power or authority. Like he is diminutive. If you shoot a subject like this from below, it gives the subject a sense of power. But in this case, it's Warrior Link. He's got his sword out. He's ready to attack, but his foe is, or at least your vantage point, is higher than him. And so it gives Link this sense of like he's the underdog, which is classic Link from Legend of Zelda. Like he overcomes all obstacles despite being the underdog and eventually overpowers his enemies. So that's what you've got here. I shot this at, let's see, f4.8, 1/20th of a second. Did not use auto ISO here on a shot like this. There's no movement. Everything's on a tripod and it's all staged. So that's not a time to use auto ISO. You want a slow shutter speed to get a nice clean image. Shot this at ISO 100. And I had Link, well, the whole thing, Link and all the lights, I had them sitting on a big old whiteboard that we got about 4 years ago. Some friends of ours gave us their old whiteboard, and it's just kind of been, we used it a ton during the pandemic, but now it just kind of hangs around the house, and every now and then we'll write a message on it. And I thought, wait a second, that's the upgrade from my washing machine where I've shot so many macro photos or like this with my Pavo tubes. I realized, well, I could just put something on that whiteboard and shoot it like that. And I'd be able to play around with the lighting. And sure enough, it worked. So what you've got here is Link on a whiteboard. There are 2 lights kind of in front of him. There's a white light, an orange light. There's 2 red lights on either side of him. And behind him and above him is a blue light on a tripod. And you can see all that if you go to the blog post. And what that does is it creates this gradient from almost like a sunset. Like in the front, there's something bright. Maybe it's a fire or a flame monster. And behind him is darkness. And you get the sense that Link is, maybe he's in a cave and he's gone through all these obstacles and he's about to face off against the final boss. And the hair has these little highlights on it because of the backlight. It's just, man, it was so much fun to shoot this. And it was so much fun to do this with my kids and have them help me with the composition. So I know I've said it before. I'll say it again, and I'll be saying it for a long time. I really like those Nanlite Pavo tubes and my macro lens, and the combination of those is just, it's really something else.